Okay, so we got a really fun day today. Today, we are taking all of this. Look at this. Look at this thing. So we're taking all of this, and we're making some shelves. So, let's make some shelves. So on the last episode, I finished making the cabinets and got them installed in the room, and you know, I didn't die. So this week though, I need to make some shelves. I want to make a couple of shelves that are adjustable in the cabinets, and I want a couple of solid shelves on the bases to be like a shelf kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like a table shelf. So that's what we're gonna do. So the first thing to do to make all that happen was to get my layout done. So I used like a T-square and a square and a level, and I think I actually had my track saw out for a little bit too, just to use that because it was 55 inches long. So with all that kind of figured out, I decided to talk to the camera. So I think I have an idea of what I'm gonna do, and we're just gonna go for it. Just start cutting. Let's do a good job. Yeah, so words to live by right there. Do a good job. That's kind of a life motto that I think more people should adopt, you know? Do a good job. So since I had my layout kind of figured out, and I was doing a mediocre job at best, the first thing I needed to do was take care of all these live edges, because I do want the shelves to have a live edge. So I spent some time and pulled off all the bark and cleaned up all of those edges before I got my final layout figured out and, you know, cut them all up to size. So with my boards cut to width-ish, a little overcut, because, you know, you should always be a little bigger than a little smaller. So with that all taken care of, I could then mark my depths and start getting all of these pieces cut up. So at this point, I took a little break to test out my new club. I think that definitely needs to become a club at some point. But first, we do have to get these shelves done. I mean, this is the point of this video, is making shelves. So with my handy dandy measuring, I realized that, yep, I need a little more width on these shelves. The cabinets are about 12 inches deep, and these just aren't deep enough. So with all my pieces cut down to size, it was time to lay them all out and, you know, match them up, marry them up, find them a partner so they could live out their lives as shelves together. So with them all properly mated up, I stuck some double-sided tape to the back and threw them on my planer sled. I'm gonna say, this is like the best double-sided tape. It's amazing. There's like a link in the description. Go check it out. It's like a carpet tape. And, you know, good luck getting it unstuck from anything that you stick it to. Just, you've been warned. But it's amazing. So with the walnut board stuck to the MDF board, I tossed a couple shims underneath the, you know, gappy bit that we're trying to fix, and threw it through the thickness planer. Now with all the boards run through and down to their proper thickness, I could check my joinery to make sure we were nice and square and flush and plumb and level and acute. Sure, all of those things are very, very important, as well as picking at this little knot. But with that all taken care of, it was time to throw some glue and, you know, clamp it up. In case you didn't know, glue's sticky. So with the one drying, glued, doing things, I get to go work on all the rest. Plane it, square it, glue it, clamp it. So after about 20 minutes, when the glue was at that nice, you know, gluey stage, I popped a new board into my clamps because I don't have a huge amount of clamps. So, you know, this was kind of like an assembly line thing, one at a time. But eventually we got through all the clamping. Well, kinda, there's still that one that's clamping. But But as that one cured up, it was time to do the sanding. But since sanding is as boring to watch as it is to do, actually more boring to watch than it is to do, it was time for me to take on this board. So with all the big stuff and bark and things, you know, pounded out of there with the chisel, the next thing to do was flip it over, do the same thing, and then I use this amazing like nylon brush wheel thingamadoo to really clean up all of these edges. I'm gonna say, these things are awesome. Link below, I think, I hope. Go check it out. It might be there. Go look for it. So with everything all cleaned up, I'm gonna show you like a little before and after, because that's fun. So before and after. So I don't know if you can really see a difference, but trust me, there's like a big difference and it's so much better, and you should get one of those nylon wheels. And they come in different grits, which is neat because it's like plastic. Anyways, the next thing to do was make a little form so that I could pour some TotalBoat, baby. So I guess technically this isn't really like a form, but it's kind of a form. It's more like just a base. So with my properly tuck taped base, we'll say that 5 times fast. Tuck tape base, tuck tape base, tuck tape base, tuck tape base, tuck tape base. Oh, no, can't do it. Shouldn't have tried. Anyways, with my tuck tape base properly screwed onto my walnut slab, there's a slab, I made a little end piece, and then I did one of my favorite things, running a nice thick bead of caulk. So with the bottom all smoothed out with my finger, I flipped it over and ended up throwing some tuck tape on the top and a little more caulking to make like a dam. Made a dam caulk, and I think it's a damn fine caulk, if you ask me. Not that anybody ever does, but you know, I'm just saying, looks like a pretty damn fine caulk to me. Like job, like caulking job, like a damn fine caulking job. You guys, man, you're so immature. So with my wood and my caulk all leveled up and ready to go, it was time to warm up the TotalBoat. It's nice to give it a little bath first. It just helps everything, like, you know, flow and be all smooth and silky. Now after doing about, 10 minutes of math to figure out how much I actually needed, 60 ounces. I spent a long time mixing all the stirring until it was time to dump in our pigment, which is a Underworld Teal by Aurora Pigments. So pretty. It says teal, but it's green. I mean, I guess green's maybe kind of teal, but it's green, and it's the most glorious green you'll ever see. No! A little more. Shit. Yeah, that's right. So 60 ounces wasn't enough. My math was flawed. I had flawed math. So I ended up mixing up another 30 ounces. And after a quick taste test, no taste test. Don't drink the resin. Pour the resin. The resin is for pouring, not for drinking. So I let the wood drink up all the resin, and after doing the most glorious thing ever, which is popping the bubbles, I let it gel up for a little while, like a day or two, and then I was able to do the fun little swirly things. Now at that point, it was time to let it sit for a week and fully cure up. So yeah, that Thickset Fathom resin needs, 7 to 10 days to really kind of harden up and cure up, which was great because it gave me time to work on these shelves. So I was able to clean out these little knot holes, and I filled them with, you guessed it, some more TotalBoat. So for this, I'm using their high performance epoxy, which is great because it cures in about 5 hours. So it's a lot faster. You just can't pour it as thick. And if you want to get your hands on any of these, there's one of those links in the description again. I know. It's just all the things for you guys this time. It's awesome. So with my resin poured and cured and sanded and everything all nice and flat, it was time to get my shelves cut down to shape. So to make sure these shelves fit properly, because fitting things into things is kind of important, I cut up a quick MDF template and gave that a test fit into my cabinets. Now, since I have a weird thing about grain matching and edge matching whenever I can, I lined up my boards to get my live edges so they'll run across my cabinets. Yeah, bet you didn't see that coming. Bet you didn't know I had that plan, did you? Did you? So with my live edges all lined up, I was able to use my template to mark out my cuts. And with a quick zip, zap, zoop, they were all cut down. And the only thing left was to clean up those live edges, give them a final sand and polish, and then throw on some finish. Now with the walrus oil furniture butter all nice and cured, the last thing to do is get these all waxed up. Wax on! Wax off! So with a good waxing and polishing, these shelves were looking pretty good. So with the movable shelves all ready to go, it had been about 7 days, and it was time to take care of this resin pour walnut board shelf thing. Which meant pretty much doing the exact same things I did to the other shelves, just with a few extra little steps. I started off by getting rid of the excess resin that was, excess. We didn't need it. So I sanded it, because that's what I wanted to do. So with my board mainly flat, it was time to figure out the size of my shelves, which meant I had to make some cereal box templates. I swear guys, keep your cereal boxes. These things are just the best for making all sorts of templates. You just cut them up, you tape them together, and then you know exactly the size of the thing. And you don't worry about making a mistake because it's a cardboard cereal box, It's like free. So with my board starting to take shape, this is when I learned or realized or decided that it was time to add that extra board to the back of these shelves that I mentioned like way back when at the beginning of the video. See, we came back, we got there. So with that board put on, I could then cut my shelves to their final shape, the little zip, zap, zoop action. And then it was time for everybody's favorite part, sanding. Hours and hours of sanding. So after what seemed like years of sanding, I was rewarded with actually getting to put on the finish. So with the boards all dried and waxed and cured and gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous, it was time to figure out how to mount them to the shelves. Now to do this, I marked out on my templates roughly where my resin was and used my templates to then mark out where I was going to drill some holes directly through my cabinet so I can bolt my shelves in with some threaded inserts. with that, these shelves are done. So thanks for sticking around and checking out this video. Make sure to go down below and check out some links for some cool things and products and TotalBoat. Go get yourself some TotalBoat. If you do, it does support me and this channel, so I would really appreciate it, but no pressure. So I hope you enjoyed this build, and I'll catch you on the next one where I install these LED light strips to brighten up the cabinets.